Anytime we in here, know something else. You know what I mean? So yeah, just put that back there. Oh, is it too high? Nice. Or is that okay? Okay. Oh, you got the turn around. You got the so the camera's on the upper side, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that should be right here. I'll have to do from there. Okay. Oh, snap. Snap.
It's upside down.
Yeah, it's upside down.
That's what happened.
Okay, go ahead right now if I put. Stop. Okay. So we live now, right? Okay, so anytime you see the Y in Lashawan, the Y represents a tense, which means action, which means verb, which means doing, right? So without it, Lashawan is a tongue. A tongue is a noun, right? Meaning it is a thing, place, or person, right? What's going on there? Okay, let's turn around now. Okay, go. Okay. No.
So if I flip it other way, it's gonna be upside down.
Yeah, we can flip upside down. There you go. All right. There you go. All right. Yeah. Just so the camera has a higher angle. You know what I mean? Okay, so right, so this will be our form of using an ing. All right. I know you must have heard before, before you come into ISUPK, you hear people will watch different Israelite groups. They don't know which one's the truth. And there are a lot of breakup groups of the I.S.U.P.K. And these breakups of the I.S.U.P.K. happen because some brother somewhere didn't follow the rules of Christ. The rule of Christ is if you have any issue, any problem, in other words, an offense with another brother, another person, a doctrine, you have to go to that brother that taught it, and a counsel will be made. And that is the requirement. That is the protocol of moving yourself to the truth, because you can't just come in with a book one day and say, see, the book says that Enoch was white. You have to be wrote. Now you read something you don't know. You see what I'm saying? So you go to a council. The council will pull out their sources. Brothers will pull out their sources. A brother with that is trusted with much wisdom can ask certain questions. You see what I'm saying? So we can get to the bottom of whether this book of Enoch is true, or this book of Joshua is true, or whether the offense made by this brother was right or wrong, or whether Cornelius is an Israelite or a white Italian man, if it is right or wrong, right? A counsel will be made. Go through scriptures, right? Put some precepts with it. Precept to prove it's wrong or prove it's right. Counsel is to be done. But some brothers don't follow Christ, so what they do is they just leave the school and have their own Israelite group where they're just allowed to have anything they believe in. Right? That's what we call the doctrine of man. Doctrine of the Lord, everything is done by a council. Everything, the Lashawan Qadash is done through a council. You see what I'm saying? I have a book over here, right? This book is this is a book from Yale, right? All these people on here are people from Yale, right? Bonnie Pedrati. Everybody's familiar with this book, Biblical Hebrew, a text and workbook, right? Right? It's online. I believe it might be $70. you know, your regular college book price, right? Just so you know, it's from Yale. All right, this is nothing we made up. All right, it's nothing we made up. We're gonna go to the first chapter. Yeah, I believe the second page or the first page. There we go. The Hebrew alphabet. All right. So the first section is about the Hebrew alphabet. We want to go over the alphabets in a second, right? Key things we want to know about the Hebrew alphabet. So why we don't talk like the Jewish man, right? If I could, yeah, Bukwashima, if you could read this for me, right? Just so I can not overexert myself in the breath, all right?
What you want to say?
We want to read the first chapter right here, if I could, right?
Come.
Yeah.
The Hebrew alphabet is the oldest in the world.
Right, so the Hebrew alphabet is the oldest in the world, right? And the Hebrew alphabet, meaning this thing that we do right here, the A, the Ba, the Ga, the Da, the Ha, and so forth, right? Our brother asked last night on Cross the Line Radio if the Hebrew language is the same language that was spoken by Noah, right? This is the oldest in the earth, right? Everybody, another misconception, right? Everyone on the earth today is born out of Noah, right? Adam was not the first man on earth, right? But the Lord did save his lineage through Noah. Everyone else was killed, right? And Noah had 3 sons, and Noah and his 3 sons had wives. That's why he says, that's what people always say, there were 8 people that saved through the flood, right? And they had a language, they spoke a language, all right? So this will be Noah's language, right? And the word Hebrew, we went over this last week, I believe last week we went over this also, right? The word Hebrew, right? Hebrew, right? Is a transliterated word, right? We went over the word transliteration last week, right? It's called a predictable translation of certain vowels and consonants, right? Where the word Hebrew comes from a man that was called Eber, right? You go look in the lineage for Eber, right? And Eber in the Hebrew is Ibar, right? Ibar, right? And Ibar is from Ibar in the Hebrew, in the Hebrew, Bar, right? Ibar, right? So this I is I. This BA, right, is this bar right here. And this Ra comes from this Ra right here, right? The R comes from the Ra right here, right? So now the common transliteration, right, is they take the E from the I sound, because the I makes the E sound. A, ba, how you do it in English, right? A is A, ba, ka, da, e, fe, ga, ha, E, right? So that E became Eber, all right? And then before you know it, this E became he, and this B became the ba here, and that Ra became the Ra here, right? And then usually the language is called Ibarya. So the man is called Eber, right? But the language is named after him, Ibar, or Ibarya, right? Now the word Ibar means past. Past, future, past, from the past, all right? So whatever the I is, that became whatever this is right here. All right? And that's how that is done, right? So this is the ancient language, meaning there's only one Hebrew. There's only one real Hebrew. Any other Hebrew is some polluted item content,
Right.
some tainted water out there, right? Bastard, that's the word I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Very good, you know what I mean? Right? So read that part again if I could.
Sir. The Hebrew alphabet is the oldest in the world.
It is the oldest in the world. It's older than English. It's older than Spanish. It's older than Chinese. It's older than Greek. It's older than Arabic. It's older than your Hotep Egyptian languages. Right? It's older than, first of all, for those out there that believe in Egyptian, whatever the Kemet, Medineto, all that, right? Mm-hmm. They could only get the Medineto by using the Hebrew as a bridge language to the English to find out what the words in Egypt meant. Because the Hebrews were there speaking the language, writing in Hebrew, and could say things similar to translate all of the Egyptian stuff, right, to the English using the Hebrew, right? So now back in Egypt, we didn't have your modern Assyrian Hebrew, right? You didn't have this Abba, Ga, Da, right? You didn't have this Hebrew right here. You had this Hebrew in Egypt, right? So now people in Jewish scholars, they don't read this, they read this. So they have to they have to look at this, relate it to this, right? And relate it to the Egyptian language to find out what those things are. Now you have all these 40 laws of Ma'at and breaking down the hieroglyphs only because of the Hebrew language, because you need it. You need it. Right. It's the most important language in the earth. It's the original language in the earth. It's the oldest. Right. All right? Good, right? There's something else in the add on that too. Don't worry. Even though the word Kemite, you heard people talk about Kemet before, right? Mm-hmm. Kemet is a Hebrew word also, right? It just means Kemite, meaning you have the Hamites, right? You have Ham, right? You know who Ham is, right? Yeah. Who's Ham?
He's one of the sons.
He's
one of the sons of Noah.
He is very good. He's one of the sons of Noah and
the
father of the Africans. There we go, right? Ham in Hebrew is pronounced as Ham, right? Ham, right? This is a Hebrew word which means hot, because Africans, they look like they're hot. they just cooked. They just well done. They're not medium rare, right? They're well done, right? And they smell like they're hot, right? Right? God. Now, when you go into books, they'll write this word right here. This word in the Hebrew is ham, right? That's this word right here, right? When you read in English, it'll be transliterated to either CHEM or KHEM, right? And then during the 80s, 70s, the government was paying Negroes to take trips to Egypt to have brothers think that they're Egyptians, right? So that you do not get free. You know what I mean? That's the whole basis of it. Commander YAHANNA had did a show of the guy. What's his name? His name was Ben something. Wherever his name was. Someone will get it from me if I could, right? No, hell no. Ben Carson is the brain surgeon who's now Republican, right? But it was Ben. It was some Yiddish Egyptian name, Joseph. I can't remember his name, right? But he will go with brothers to Egypt, and then they'll come across Chem and Kemite, and they will label the Kemite people and the country of the Kemites, and then they'll just turn Kemite into Kemet, not from no special book or nothing like that, just from Negroes, who was at the time, we was coming out of the time where we wasn't really getting educated by the school like that. We just came out of, the whole civil rights, and brother was saying Kemite by word of mouth, Kemite. It was like that. That's how the term Kemet came about. Sometimes you see them spell it with a H or without a H, Kemet, right? And that's just something from Negro's word of mouth. That's where that came from, and that came from the Hebrew. Kemet is a Hebrew word, be not mistaken, all right? Good, right? Keep reading on that if I could.
Come, sir.
Yeah.
The Hebrew alphabet is the oldest in the world, still in use today.
Still in use today. Meaning, but when they mean today, they're talking about, the Jewish, the Yiddish, all right? Where through the Masoretes, they inserted vowel systems in there where they will use the Y instead of making the Y be an ing. The Y is now just a vessel to put a O in there or a U in there. All right, so they'll say Boker Tov or they'll say Shalom, and people see the Y in there because the Masoretes put a Y in there to say Shalom and not Shalom. All right, so you see a lot of brothers see that and they say, look, in the text, this is not Shalom, it's Shalom. And then they turn Shalom into Shalom because of something that the Masoretes put in there, right? Just so they can get the O, just so they can get they're rightly given by the Lord vowel pronunciations of the O. Remember, the Lord divided the languages amongst the nations, so everyone's supposed to have their own language, right? The Lord don't like everybody mixing up like what's going on here in America. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is why we have racial oppression. Because this is not what the Lord wanted. The Lord wanted separation. The Lord wanted us to be holy and everyone to be separate. All right? So now the Europeans had they rightfully divided O's, but now they stole our culture. Now they're putting O's into our culture. And now the Y is not even seen like an ing. I don't hear no fake Israelite talking about Shalom. The Y means ing. I don't hear none of that. Right? They just go by whatever their slave master says, whatever their slave master does. The slave master says kufis is Israelite culture, they wear kufis. The slave master says shoelaces on your t-shirts is Israelite culture. He just does those because we are slaves. But this is the truth shall set you free. Right. All right. As our king said, Yahweh shall Mashiach, right? Right. Keep reading now. That's good.
Our own alphabet is a descendant of it by circulatory route.
Hey, someone said our own language is descendant of it. Now, the Jewish language is a descendant of that. The English language is a descendant of that. Through the R, the Ba, the Ga, the Da, you have the A, the B, the C, and the D. You see what I'm saying? Well, this will be the G, right? But this is their alphabet. This is our alphabet, right? This H will really be, this H is really a H. You see what I'm saying? We didn't have any vowel. I think we're going to get today where there was no vowels in the Hebrew language. Right. All right. So even as we did down here, we translated this into English language. Our language today in English, Spanish, French, or from the Latin. It comes from the Hebrew. All right. Keep reading.
Sir. The text of the Hebrew Bible we use today reflects several periods of development. Originally, only consonants were used.
Okay, hold on. All right, so put it down. Just let it go, right? Right. Originally, only consonants was used, right? After we're going to need the Hebrew sheet too, right? Only consonants were used, meaning we didn't have any vowels, right? The R, it will be referred to as a consonant. It will not be used as a vowel. Why? Because vowels in English is used to go in between consonants, which we don't need, right? We only have consonants. Consonants. All right? La, consonant. Sha, consonant. Wa, consonant. Na. Slack. Na. Consonant. All right? So that's a common misconception that a lot of people don't know because they've been learning outside of the I.S.U.P.K, right? They don't go into books like how we do. They just do whatever sounds right to them, and they in turn create their own religion, which they call a doctrine, right? But religions are born out of doctrines. The Muslims came out of taking Israelite culture, right? You read in that Babylon Timbuktu, they took Israelite culture and then just turned it this way, turned it from Jerusalem to Mecca, and being that Arabic is a Hebrew language, it is not the Hebrew of the Israelites. It is a Hebrew-like language, being that their language descended from Abraham. That's why when we say Shalom, they say Salam, right? Because it is a Hebrew type language, but it's not our Hebrew. It's not the Hebrew of the Bible, right? It's not the one we talk about right here, where it says Hebrew is the oldest language in the earth. All right. What else? There's 5 Hebrew nations, but there's only one Israelite. Right?
Right.
Now, what is a Hebrew? Hebrew means people who are descended out of the man who was called Eber. Right. His name is Hebrew. So when you say Hebrew, you're not really talking about the Israelites. We are not Hebrew Israelites. We are Israelites. And it's very important. That's what Keziah always brought it up. It's very important to know this. We're not Hebrew Israelites. We're not Israelites. Hebrew is the language. Israelite is the people. Right? Because out of Eber, you had Moab and Ammon, the Chinese and Japanese, right? Who are the children of Lot, who are Abraham's nephew, right? Born out of incest with their daughters. You read the story in Genesis chapter 19, right? And they all know that. They know this, and they name things Moab because they know who they are, all right? We just mentioned the Ishmaelites, the Arabs. The Arabs are the Ishmaelites. Arab is come from the word Arab, which means mixed. That's another good one, right? Arab. Arab is where you get the word Arab. Arab means Arab. It's the transliteration. The word Arab is the Hebrew word Arab, which just means mixed. Because it was Abraham mixing it was Abraham mixing his seed in the Egyptian woman. All right, Hagar. We know that, right? The chief tribe of the Arabs or the Arabs was called the Hagarenes in the New Testament. Just like how our chief tribe is Judah because of Christ. The Edomites, the Caucasians' chief tribe is Amalek because of the Jewish man. Right? And the Arabs' chief tribe are the Hagarenes because they named themselves after the mother. Right? What they do is they claim their lineage after, Abraham, to say they're the children of Hagar. They call themselves the Hagarenes. All right, and that was an issue one time for us where we were becoming not Muslims because Islam didn't exist yet, but we was following some of these Arabic people's ways in the New. I can't believe what book was that again? It's in the New Testament. I want to say it's Corinthians or one of them, or it's one of them, or Colossians. I believe it might be. I can't pinpoint it right now. Right, but there was an issue one time where these Arabs always try to sway us in their direction because we have a common lineage. You see what I'm saying? We never really had that issue with Africans because we knew that them Africans were some other people. But them Arabs was dark skinned like us, and they look like us. Latinos look like Arabs today, a little bit, because we have a common lineage. You know what I mean? And they would try to sway us out of the doctrine of the truth into their religions, the same way how brothers become Muslim today. Right? You go down the street right now in Harlem, someone's going to greet you, Assalamu alaikum. And they might even call you Aki. Right? Okay? Keep reading.
Come. Originally, only the consonants were used.
Originally, only the consonants were used. There was no vowels. There was no A-E-I-O-U. Right? There was only the A and the I sound. Right? There's only the R and I sound, and the R and the I are not considered to be vowels because they are in there and they are considered not to be consonants because read it again.
Originally, only the consonants were used.
Originally, only consonants were used, so these were considered to be consonants. Right. All right. So when people say shalom, shalom, they have inserted a vowel to say the word peace, right? Now, they're saying that the shalom, right? The shalom, you cannot write anything by itself as a greeting with a Y in there. Y is something just like any word, just like any vowel. In any English word, no word is computing, informing, reading. Those words with the ing are in the middle of a sentence, right? So in essence, Lashawan, even Lashawan itself, it comes from the tongue, right? Ing meaning something that the tongue is doing, right? So the thing that the tongue does is talk. the thing that the produce of the thing of the tongue that it does, right, is your language, right? That's you speaking, right? Right? So Lashan is tongue, Lashawan is tongue in the sense of language, right? And we only say holy tongue because in the old English, the word language might not have been there too prevalent. The word tongue was there. So we say, what tongue do you speak? Yeah. What is this? He's speaking with an unknown tongue. Right? His tongue is rolling off a tongue that I'm not familiar with. He speaks with an unknown tongue. Right? Today you call it a language. All right. Okay. Keep reading.
Come, sir. Mm-hmm. By the time of the Israelite kingdoms, some consonants, ha, wa, ya, were used to indicate certain vowels.
So by the time of the Israelite kingdoms meaning we became big as a nation, went into Egypt, came out, took some of their folly, right? Got free. We got taken again into Babylon, learned some of their folly. I don't believe we even got free from Babylon. We went from Babylon to the Assyrians. Right. You see what I'm saying? And you go read in the book of Ezra, in the Hebrew, some words are not the same. Like, example, right? We have Shamayam. Shamayam. Right? Shamayam. Right? That's Hebrew. This is the Hebrew word for heaven. It's pronounced Shamayam. In Ezra, it will say Shah Ma Ya'ah. It's like that in there because in the Hebrew Israelite kingdoms, read it again.
Come. By the time of the Israelite kingdom, some consonants
like the ah,
ha, wa, ya,
were
used to indicate certain vowels.
So the language was changed in these certain Israelite kingdoms, right? Because of heathen influences, right? Heathen influences is how you lose yourself. It's why you speak English right now, right? You know what I mean? Because we are a nation within a nation, right? We are really our own people, just stuck within the borders of another people today called the United States, right? Where they are the rulers and we just ride buses. We just drive buses and deliver your mail and be homeless people, or be the nurses in your hospital. That's what we are now. We are a people encaged by another people. And this is the same for whether you're in America or if you're in Haiti. Haiti's ruled by they killed Moses because really the Arabs was in charge. Them Arabs was really in charge of Haiti. And Dominican Republic is also ruled by Arab. Their president is some Arab. Wow. Right? Jamaicans, we had what's his name again? Edward Siaga and Michael Manley, who were both Syrian Caucasians from Syria. Right? We over there proud to be Jamaican, voting and killing each other for this prime minister or prime minister to be, when they are some other people, some strange people. Now they're not European, they're not British and Caucasians say, oh, this is our slave master. These are Caucasians from Syria, where we're looking at Syria like, these ain't the same slave master. These are different white people, right? Where they still have a chance to have influence on us, right? Through, it's really psychological, right. Things put on us, right? It's another chain on us, right? Just to make sure that we don't get free, right? But if we could get, what's that scripture again? Zechariah 14:9. All right, Zechariah 14:9. Zechariah 14:9. All right. Our brother, and I'm bringing this up because our brother, he pulled out a scripture last night on Crossline Radio. You know what I mean? Where he got confused. He put another scripture that was not in Zechariah. It's something 8 and 9, but he's referring to this one, right?
Come. Yeah. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 9. And the Lord shall be king over all the earth. Right. So one day, right, the Lord is not king over the earth right now, because king means you rule the earth. The oppressor rules the earth right now. The wicked, right? I believe today they call him a Caucasian, right? Or they call him
They call them Americans.
Right.
Right? They call them Americans and Russians today. Right? Some people call him a Caucasian, some people call him a European, some people call him a white man. Right? But whoever he is, these people who are on top of us today, they are the king of the earth right now. They say people be gay, and people actually go out and be gay.
Right.
You know what I mean? They say legalize marijuana, and people actually, I drive and smell people smoking weed around the police car and all that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So,
if I could, I was gonna say some people call them Jewish.
And so they've legalized Jewish people.
Right.
And some people call him the Jewish man. Right? So much where Hitler wanted to kill them because he's like, yo, these people are trying to enslave other white people.
Right.
Hitler thought it was not right for a white to be oppressing another white. Say, oh, you guys want to be Jews like these black people are in America. Like Jesse Owens, I'm inviting to the Olympics to see how they run.
Right.
Okay, you want to be black like Jesse Owens? Okay, go in some ovens and get black. Go, you want to be a Jew? Be a real Jew. Go be black. Put him in ovens. Right? The president of Egypt, I believe his last name was Nasser, right? When those Germans was being sent to the Middle East to become Jewish people in Israel, right, by boats, right? The president of Egypt, he was against it and sided with the Arabic brothers in the Middle East to say, you can't come back, or we don't believe you're the real Jews because how can the Jews leave black and come back white?
Right.
Right? So it was everyone outside of America knows. We just in this box, we just in this cage where our education is controlled. But outside of these walls, those things show that everyone knows that we are the real Jews.
Right.
We are the real Jews. Yeah, and everybody knows that Jesus Christ is black.
Right.
The pictures are still there in Russia and
Catacomb.
you go to Middle East right now. Jesus Christ is a black man. They don't got Caesar Borgia in Jerusalem out there today, right? There's a black image out there with a black mother, with a black Mary for the mother too.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's not strange. It's only strange to us because we have been slaves.
Right.
All right, good, right? Any more on that? If I could, but question mark.
Sir. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 9. And the Lord shall be king over all the earth.
Right. So one day, the slave master is not going to be in charge. The Lord will be in charge. How? By the men of the Lord that serve him.
Right.
Right. And then those brothers will push the law to make the Most High in charge.
Right.
Whatever the Most High wants, we give it to him, and through that, the Most High blesses us through serving him, just like any employer and employee.
Right.
All right, keep reading.
In that day.
In that day, which is coming very soon. Meaning, he's not saying it in the Bible to it happen then. In that day, meaning there's a day coming.
Right.
Right? Keep reading.
In that day shall there be one Lord.
In that day, there shall only be one God. Keep reading.
And his name one.
And he only got one name. Right? The Lord only has one name. The Lord is not, oh, I call him Allah. I call him Zeus. I call him Shiva. That's not the Lord. The Lord only has one name. I call him Ahaya. I call him, what do you call him? I call him Yah. I call him Jah. I call him God. I call him Jesus. That's not what the Lord is saying here. The Lord is saying, see, read the part again.
Come, sir. In that day shall there be one Lord.
There shall be one God, one Lord. The Lord is one. Read.
And his name
His name one. God only got one name. And it's not a mystery. Right? It's all through the Bible. Right here where it says the Lord, it would say the Lord's name. Right. We went over that last week about the common transliterations, where they take this thing. So, okay, the Lord's name will be written like so, right? Let me show you right now, right? No vowels in it. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, right? It will be written like so. I'm putting the Yiddish shut. Yah-ha-wah. Right? Scholars call this the tetragrammaton. Tetragrammaton. All right, you have to know this word too if you desire to be a priest, and if you desire to have the rightful enemies of priests that a priest would have, you're gonna have enemies, and they're gonna throw this word in front of you sometimes. Tetragrammaton. 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 They are talking about the Lord's name, which is the compilation of these Hebrew characters which form the Lord's name. Now, the Tetragrammaton, or the Lord's name, right, is the thing that is behind, when you read in the Bible, every time you see the, like this, T-H-E, and capital L-O-R-D. In the Hebrew, the Lord's name is behind this every single time. Every single time. So when it says the Lord's name is one, it's saying Yahweh, his name is one. That's his only name. It's not a higher or shy. I am that I am. That's not what we read in Zechariah 14 and 9. Right? That's not what we read in Exodus chapter 3 and 15. You see what I'm saying? That's not the name that Moses called upon. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, I was going to say, there was another Bible and some Bibles I had in the back. It had a dictionary. Like when you see the word Lord in all caps, originally it was YHWH, which is the same thing as this right here.
Right. So
yeah.
like we had this little conversion piece right here. They would turn this white. This is the R right here, right? So they do it like this because they know it.
They know it. Yeah.
It's not a mystery. Like to us as Negroes, it's like
brand new.
Yeah, no, it's a higher. It's Jehovah. It's Jah. It's Yah.
Right.
But it's not. It's Elohim. But to them, it's not a mystery. It's YHWH. Right? And that's where they turn the Y. The Catholic Church created the J just for the sole purpose so you can't see the Lord's name. And then they put that, and just put an E here, right? E here, J, whole, and then the W also was changed to a V, right? And that's J, whole, vowel. You see what I'm saying? It's just to bastardize the Lord's name, because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, like Job said. Right. Job said in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And the wicked don't like the Lord. We read in Romans about a people that don't like to retain the knowledge of the Most High in their minds. Right? Who the Lord gives over to a reprobate mind. Right. Who trained the truth of the Lord into a lie, and worship the creature more than the Creator. Right? And that is everything we've been talking about thus far. Everything we've been talking about is that same kind of people Christians have to understand. The earth don't like the Lord. Right? You love the Lord because you're the Lord's people. You want to truly serve the Lord and the best you can. If you know Christianity, you're doing that because that's all you know. Right? But you are taught your religion by people that hate God. They taught God all day. Taught God and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And every December 25th, we worship Jesus' birthday. And those people they taught God, but they don't like the Lord. You have to understand that people lie. Right? People lie, and people are scammers, and people are thieves. Right. And they will enslave you or keep you enslaved with a lie because it benefits them. Right. People right now learn to be good liars so they can become politicians, and they will lie in your face because that is how they get their wealth. The empire relies on lies. You know what I mean? The whole earth, you get down to the bottom, the whole earth depends on you not knowing the truth. Right. All right. And the truth means more than knowing you're an Israelite. Right? The truth means the doctrine. You can know you're an Israelite and you still be an adulterer, still smoke weed, and you still be something disgusting to the Lord. But when you come to the truth, you are being changed into a person, right? That is actually going to convince the Lord to put COVID-19 out here in all the earth. And you're going to pray for it. You're going to pray for it. Where's the prayer? The question marks. Let me show you something we've been praying for. And this is how you know the I.S.U.P.K of the Lord and commended YAHANNA as a real man of God. Because this prayer used to say, I don't know if he was here when the question mark, we used to pray for terrorists.
Yeah, right.
right? And I'm just looking at this like, oh, well, terrorists are here, and the praise is terrorists, right?
You want the first page or the back?
I want the back, right. Yeah, this is 12. You know what I mean? Now, there was a time when terrorists wasn't here, and the brothers in I.S.U.P.K for a long time have been praying for some terrorists, and then terrorists came. The I.S.U.P.K was established in 1969, and we had these prayers called the curses. Now, around 4 years ago, the word, if we can show you right here, right? This is a prayer right here, right? This is the I.S.U.P.K curses prayer, right? And around 4 years ago, we had a mandate that came down from the generals to change the word. Where is it at? Commit the spirit. To change this word right here. This word was one time another word, right? For legal reasons, we're not going to say what it is, but it was a prayer, and it's nothing that we would do. It's just something that we would pray to the Lord. And 4 years ago, around 2017, right? It was changed to plagues, right? Oh, we got Facebook down here too, right? It was changed to plagues. And we prayed for these plagues. And we prayed every Sabbath service, because I was to do it. Right? I don't know if anyone remembers, I was up here on the Sabbath service in New York every Saturday, coming over slavery, tired as hell, about to go to camp, doing the Sabbath service, falling asleep while doing the Sabbath. And we used to pray for plagues, not just us. All of the I.S.U.P.K from here to California to the UK to Jamaica to Trinidad. We prayed for these plagues, and they came. The whole earth is shut down. From here to China to Australia to UK to Africa to the Middle East. You know what I mean? So I would say the Lord is real, y'all.
Yeah, right.
The Lord is real. Be not mistaken. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up with, you just see buildings and the white man in charge and he got planes, and it's more than that. Right? Even he got all those things because of a blessing that his forefather a long time ago, Abraham, said that he'd be blessed with the sword. Meaning, you go around killing the earth, you're gonna get what you need. You're gonna do things the Abrahamic way. You want something done, you go out and you go spoil people. You go conquer them, and that is how Abraham got rich. He went to war with the Sodomites, right, to go save his brother Lot, and then he got spoiled. You know what I mean? He took their gold, and Melchizedek came down, who was Christ in the spirit. Came down, he gave Christ, at the time, Melchizedek, he gave him a tenth of all of the gold that he had rounded up from these Africans. Gave it to Melchizedek. He disappeared. Abraham was eternally blessed because of that, because he paid tithes. Right. You see, I mean, tithes what made Abraham blessed, and it's how we become a people that have inherited a great blessing, which we have not seen yet, and the great curse on the other side of the contract, as you have seen here in America. Right. You know what I mean? You've seen AIDS, you've seen death, you've seen your woman leaving you, you've seen yourself with no father, or no parents at all, foster kid. You know, you've seen hell, you've seen gang banging, you've seen rape, you've seen you've heard of child molestation, you heard of homosexuality, you heard of you drive in a car, you get pulled over for no reason, get shot, no crime committed. You've seen all of that. You've seen slaves, you've seen the pictures. We got pictures on this wall right here, right? Brothers being lynched. You know what I mean? Your kids being murdered in front of you by some slave master. You've seen the great curse. You've seen you invent the car, and the credit goes to Henry Ford. Right? You've seen you invented the plane. We invented those planes in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's when we had Black Wall Street. We invented those planes. And now those planes belong to American Airlines and Delta and JetBlue. Right. You know what I mean? They belong to Richard Branson. Richard Branson, who had the Virgin Space thingy, Virgin Galactic, he started with Virgin Records and then moved on to the plane to have a plane company, Virgin Atlantic, which generated the money for him to now go to space. Right? Your inventions had turned the white man into God on earth, to where he believes his God, and he goes up to that space the same way how the people in Babylon built that tower, because they want to get high, really, to fight God. They're really sticking up a middle finger at God with that tower, and they put that finger up higher now to the sky with Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson, and who's the other devil? Who's going to space? I think it's Elon Musk. Is he going to space? Yeah, Elon Musk is going. That devil went to space too. Right. You know what I mean? Good night. All right. Let's get some of this alphabet. All right. There's no vowels in the Hebrew. All right. Let's get some of this alphabet. What time you got? Time check for code, please.
It's 8:14, sir.
To all the Most High Christ. Okay. So we know this is the Lashawan Qadash, the holy tongue. One time again, Lashan means tongue, language. The Y is the thing the tongue is doing. I'll give you a quick example of that before we never ever get it. We have Shamar. Shamar is watch. Right? Just so you see your understanding. Shawarmar. Shawarmar is watching. Right? We've got the ing right here. Just so a quick exercise so we can solidify it in our minds. Right? Barak is blessed. Right? Barawak. Barawak is blessing. Is the AC on Gosh? Yeah, you turn the AC on, right? I'll do it. You get down and do it over there. I'll need the AC on. All right, Barawak, right? You have the term that it means going out. Going in. You have come. Ba'a. Ba'a is come. Ba'a is come. Right? We was always telling some brothers, yo, come here. You know, I mean, young niggas talk, right? The Romans heard us say Ba'a all the time. He called us barbarians. Because when they say name barbarians, they say that we talk like sheep. We talk like a bunch of animals. Ba. Yo, Ba'a. Right? That Ba'a is what they was talking about. That Ba'a is come. Bawa'a. Ba'a. It's coming. All right. What else? Taza'a. Right. This is our word for out or leave. Right. Right. Tazawa'a is leaving. Tazawa'a is leaving. All right. Now you have the preposition a, right, which is used sometimes to say I. Right. Just that how we have to try. Aparia. Aparia means I am fruitful because par means fruit. Right? Par means fruit. Parium is fruit plural. Right? The R is aparium in Ephraim. That's the tribe of Ephraim, the Puerto Ricans, right? Or the Puerto Ricans in the Bible. Ephraim. In Hebrew is aparium. Right? The R means I. So I, or stop it. Our R is I'm coming. I am coming. Right? And don't think of English. Right? We have I am coming. You can say Anya Bawa. But how we talk is according to the scriptures. Anya is formal. Ah is more how we talk regularly. So you want to implement that. Ah is I. You talk about me, I did it. I didn't do it. Sounds like some real slaves out here. This is good. And that might be where the dialect comes from. Because I don't never hear about where the dialect comes from. Because they say we're Africans, but we say we don't sound like Africans at all. We don't sound like Africans. We don't talk like the English man. We don't sound like our French man. Right? We don't sound like our Spanish slave masters. Right? But we do have an accent. It doesn't sound like the Queen's English. And it doesn't sound African. Right? Now you have people in the Caribbean, their accents sound African. Them Haitians clearly from Africa, but they got their accents. But Negroes don't have that African accent, right? But when we say ah, it sounds like ah. You know what I mean? And ah didn't do it. I plead the fifth, right? So we're going to implement this ah no more, right? Ah, power ah, I'm coming. Ah, Shalom, I watching, right? Ah, Tazawa ah, I leaving. All right? We want to implement that. All right? Good, right? Also, if there's any Hebrew word you ever hear us say, you want me to explain it, I'll go through that, all right? Yeah, just let me know.
Wow, let me do everything. I'm trying.
Okay. The alphabet. We have R, right? H, the one we just talked about, where it's used as an I, as a preposition, meaning before the word, right? Right? This comes from Allah. Allah means cow. We, through the ingenuity of Israelites, why people always desire us to be slaves, we turn one cow into thousands of cows. That is why America has so much burgers everywhere. Because we, through our work and our slavery, our good way in agriculture, we turn one plant into many plants. We turn one cotton plant into a cotton field. We turn one sugar cane into a sugar cane field. We turn a banana into a banana plantation. You know what I'm saying? That's who we are. And that is why they want us to be slaves. And that is why the Africans are still starving in Africa, because they're not like us. They can't turn one cow into thousands of cows. They can't turn a rice grain into a mountain of rice grains. But we can. That's why we got so much food here, because our techniques are even stolen by the slave master. And now, because now they have machines and everything to do it for them, and two Mexicans, now they're like, oh yeah, you niggas can go back to Africa now. That's why they talk that, because they feel like they don't need us no more. Right? But they have this because of us. Right? So much to where the word Allah as Alawa. Alawa is now the word thousands. Right? Based off of the word cow. Right? Alawa comes from Allah. Based off of the word cows. The white man came in, the oppressors came here a long time ago. He saw our Native Indian brothers with the same techniques that the Negro man has, because they are truly our cousins. You know what I mean? We are the same race, right? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. And by Latinos, I don't mean the slave master. I mean, on the father's side, their family on their father's side is the natives, right? They are our cousins, right? That's why we always hang out with Puerto Ricans around the way. You go to slavery, the Dominican brothers always rapping with you, Haitians, and who else? Who is always rapping with us? A Mexican, a Mexican believe he's different from you too, but you're around each other enough. Y'all cool. You gonna vibe. The slave master come around, you both feel uncomfortable. You both feel like I gotta work harder.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. You know what I mean? Right. You act like everybody is the same. But when the slave master come around, they get faster. He's coming.
Right.
Damn.
Right.
Damn. You know what I mean? Right. And then he goes away. The Latino supervisor comes around and slow down. You can chill.
Right.
He's not the pressure's not here no more. Take my time. But the line is long out there. I'm coming, man. It's coming, man. Right. Line is long, but I'm on my way. Slave have to come back. Oh snap! Get this line out of here. You know what I mean? Yeah, right? So there is a similarity forever that we, even in ignorance, we vibe with Latinos because they are really us, right? But then there's another element too where Latinos, being that they think that they're different from us, they get with their own Latinos because of the slave masters dividing us, right? So there's a belief, we have skin colorism, right? In America, you have dark-skinned Negroes against light-skinned Negroes. You have dark-skinned Latinos against light-skinned Latinos, right? And you have same thing with Native Indians, right? But we need to cut all of that out. We gotta get back together, or we're gonna keep losing. Right. All right. Good. Right. What's next? Ba. Right. Ba. Ba comes from the word. Let me put some more space here so we can really get the breakdown. Ba. Right. Ba. Pronounce ba. B-A. Right. It comes from the word baya. Right. Baya. Right. Baya is the word for a tent. Today is a house. Right? We used to make tents out of cow skins. You want to get down to the roots of history, it's right here. Right? Tent is baya. All right? Today you call it a house. If you go to Israel today, you'll see Beit or Beth. Everything. Beth this, Beth that. Beta Israel. When you see that is to say house. House of building, right? House of books is a school. House of the law is gonna be the courts. You know what I mean? House of this, house of that, house of everything. House of people or the auditorium. House of it, you know, whatever it is, it will be a house and whatever it is. Bethlehem. Right? You heard of Bethlehem before, right? Bethlehem. Lehem is Lakam, house of bread. Or Lakam also means fight, house of fighters, because we are warriors. That's Bethlehem, right? Right? Bethlehem, right? But it's the house of bread in essence, because Lakam really means bread, right? Okay, good. Abba, God, right? This God is Gamal. Right? And just like how it sounds, remember, third letter. The third letter in English is what? The third letter in English, A, B, C, right? Gamal is a camel. Right? This thing right here represents a camel's hump. Right? This thing right here represents the tent with the foundation going into the ground, hooking into the ground so the wind don't blow it away. Let me draw it a little better. And it's a triangle because we made tents out of giant cow skins in a triangular formation. Alright, it was like that. Right? That's how we build our houses. And the land will be right here with grass, and we walk into the tent door. Right? Oh, next thing is the door. The da. Right? Da. Da is Dalath. Right? Dalath, which means door. Right? The door in our tent was a little triangle right here. You know what I mean? Have a little curtain, open it up. You know what I mean? You bring a wife in there also, into your mother's tent. Right? In the Bible, you got a girlfriend, you got a wife by bringing her into your mother's tent. I believe it's what Isaac did. You see what I'm saying? That's how, and we do it the same today. Why people say, oh, you still live in your mama's house. Well, that's our culture a long time ago. Until you can get your own house. You know what I mean? The whole culture of you become 18 and kick you out of the house, that's white man's culture. Right? We would develop mansions and castles to keep our families together, and we just have different quarters. Right? That way our family is not, I'm over here and my family is in East Tremont and the other one is in East New York getting robbed and attacked and we don't know about it until afterwards. You get a phone call, oh, nothing you can do, call the police. Police come there, too late when everything's done and everyone's dead. Right? In the castles, we got swords right here Let's get down right now. Who broke it out? We got men in here. You know, it's a different world. It's a different type of living, different culture. It's not American. It's when you was free. It's when you could really defend your family, defend your brothers. You know what I mean? It's when you have nobody gets kidnapped, nobody goes missing, nobody gets robbed on the way to school, right? Nobody gets molested, right? Nobody gets to bring drugs around. You see what I'm saying? Nobody can sneak things into your kid's mind through TV. You see what I'm saying? Because everyone is there and everyone supervises each other, and we live like a council. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I brought the beginning of the class. Council is very important. All right. Okay. Good. Right. This is a cow's head. That's the cow's head. These are the horns. All right. We got the house already. Tent. Foundation going in the ground. Same today. You gotta build a house. You gotta have a cement foundation. We just did it with some trees. A big tree, dig a ground, stick the tree down in there, right, and build the cow's leather around the tree. All right. Camel's hump. We ride on that hump, right? That's the door. What's next? We have the ha. Right? This ha means come from hada. Hada, which means put. Right? Put this here. This is really your hand. Right? This is your hand doing this. Alright? Put it here. Put it there. Now also sometimes there is also I'm going to show you this comes up a lot too in the reading of the scriptures, right? Hana. Hana is behold. Right? Behold. Behold. This is your hand. This is your hand. Behold. Or put this here. Put this here. Put this here. Right? This is the shape of your hand, right? With your arm, the fingers like this, all right? Okay, good. Hada is put, Hana is behold. All right? Oh, we also know that I.S.U.P.K is the modern day for generals, or in the scriptures, one time it was general, in the scriptures another time it was captain, but it means in charge over thousands. Right? So I'm also 5,000. Right? Your brothers in school are also 1,000. You have the capability of being in charge of other men. How do you do that? By becoming a man who is able to, as Moses says, disperse burden upon other men. So meaning, with my regular 5,000, if I was given to be in charge of actual 5,000 men, I would say with Quash mother, Quash a mom, not a mom, right? Quash a mom. You know what I mean? This brother is the trooper now. You know, if you get the capability, I'll raise him up, right? And I'll make you in charge of 1,000, and make you in charge of another 1,000. I get another 3 brothers, make them thousands who can become capable of being in charge of another 1,000 of men. And now everything gets divided up. You give reports the same way how we do on the major council. You see what I'm saying? And they will say, how much men do you have? How much men can you feed? You say, I can feed 500 men. Give me another man who's to be in charge of another 500 men after you, under you, and make him become a man who's capable of teaching 500 men to feed, right? Or break it down even more. Get men to be also 50 and have 10 or 50s under him, so they can more moderate these 50 men under him, right? And make sure that these 50 men are fed. All right, that's where rank comes in. That's what we do here. All right, good, right? So the general, he's in charge of thousands of us. You see what I'm saying? Captains are in charge of. Captain Tuzak is in charge of. He's a captain of 13,000. Captain Qadash is 10,000. Right? Good, right? And the word for 1,000, through our evolution of how we speak, creating words to mean things, context, Allah is 1,000 rooted in these thousands of cows that we had, because we had 100 is ma'ah. Ma'ah is 100. Right? And one day we grew these cows. We got very good at breeding these cows. We put the brown ones, white ones with the white ones, the black ones with the black ones. Right? The ones with no speckles, separate them over here. Right? And these cows, they like each other. We got good grass. We know how to fertilize the ground. We take their dung, fertilize the ground, got better grass. We was the man in agriculture. You see what I'm saying? And we turn these cows from a cow to hundreds of cows, and it's like, damn, these is more than hundreds. What do we name them? I don't know, man. Just name more cows. Thousands. Now we got thousands of cows. I don't know what we're cows, all right? Good. Right? What I'm saying is from the Bible. It's from when Jacob worked for Laban, all right? And got his 4 wives, all right? Okay? Abagada, ha, wa. Right? Wa comes from the word wawa, which is a fish hook. Right? A fish hook. Right? So now, let's think of a spear. He's all right, mommy. Let's think of a hook with 2 prongs on there. You see a fish in the water. You get the fish and you throw the hook into the. You set on a rock like this, right? And you see the fish swimming around. You see a nice big one that can feed more people than yourself, right? You get someone who's good at throwing things, and he throws it in there. And if one hook don't get him, the other one gets him. Because when you throw it, things don't just throw straight. They turn like this, right? So it's a better chance of catching the fish, right? And that is our fish hook. Before, of course, we get more strength through eating these fishes. We get more strength and more energy and more recovery to learn later on to make a net and to make baskets. We come to the baskets soon, all right? Right, but that's the fish hook. Abagada, ha, wa, za. Right, za. The word for za is zayan. Right? Zayan is our word for weapon. Right? Now this is some weapon. I don't know what kind of weapon this was, but I was from how the brothers in one West enjoyed. There was a weapon that was on the Z like this that had blades on it, and you would throw it. It was essentially 2 axes, right? With a blade here and a blade here, and in a fight, West Indians can throw things, and I don't know all the other tribes. Them West Indians and Cubans, you got some brothers from down south. When you're outside of the city, brothers get really into that nature. They don't got too much PlayStation around them, no TV. They go to the woods and they get some abilities. You know what I mean? They get to throwing something. This animal running too fast for you. You're running. Cut the deer in the neck. That thing is dead. That thing is getting on the ground and it's kicking. Enemy comes. He running to you with a knife. You over there throwing something at him. He over there like, what the hell? I didn't get there yet. You know what I mean? It's a weapon. All right. So this is our drawing of a weapon right here. Right. That's za for zayan. Our za ha. Right. Ha. Right? Ka comes from the word ka, wama. Right? This is our word for a fence. Back when we had tents, these were a fence. When we had buildings, this became the word for a wall. Alright? This became the word for a wall. Alright? Coming from the root word come, which we know is hot, because to make bricks, you have to get dirt off to the side of the road, certain hard dirt, like chalk, and you'd have to cook it, right? You'd have to first filter it, right, to get all the dust out of it, right? And so it's left to be what is considered to be clay after you get the dust out of it. And what you do is you cook the clay, right? Sometimes you put straw in there, right? So to hold it better together. You get dry straw, you put it in, you mix it in the clay, right? And you cook it in the sun, and that is how you create bricks, right? Or you want a better strong one, you go put it in a fire and you cook these bricks. The only difference is these bricks on the building, like these brownstones, are not made from cement mixes. These brownstones are bricks that were cooked. Those small bricks I'm talking about, if you throw it and you kill somebody with it, because they've been cooked to get that hardness, right? So our walls was made from heat, and our name walls is from the word heat, come. So we got kalma, all right? Okay. Same in Egypt, they had us make bricks out of straw, and then one day he said, "Oh, you want to rush this guy? You niggas must be y'all idle. Y'all must need some work. Make bricks without straw." Right? It's the same thing that's going on here, right? We cooked clay. Clay is dirt on the side of the road. All right? There we go. We got the tar. Right? Tar. Tar is na'a. Right? Which means basket. Basket. Or today would be a bag. Right? Today will be a bag. Right? Do this. The method is getting a certain type of they call it willow. It's like like a tree of branches. Willow is more flexible. Right? You dry it. In slavery, straw, right? You dry it, and in slavery, your foremothers in slavery, down here in Alabama, Carolina, Mississippi, Louisiana, right? They would create a basket out of these straws. Put an X in the middle with two straws tight on both ends, right? Tight in the middle, and then get another straw and interweave it around the X and create the bottom of a basket. Right, and then blow the basket up from the sides up, and do the same thing. Have interweave the straw in around and around the basket to create a basket. Right, this is what your foremothers was doing in slavery, or your great grandmothers was doing in slavery. Right, and this right here is the same thing your grandmothers was doing, creating a basket out of willow straw. All right, Tana'a's basket or bag. Right. Alright, okay, fine. Okay. Alright. What's next? Abagada, Awazakata, Ya. Right? We have the Ya right here. Ya. Right? This is from the word yard. Yard is your hand. Alright? So, my little man right here. Picture his hand right here. This is his hand, his arm, his forearm, and his arm. Right? This stand right here. This is your hand. Right? You got his hand, right? And his arm, like this. Right? This is it. This is his hand, alright? Okay? Come. Right? Okay. Right? The word for this is cup. Oh, you want to teach us? You want to teach that? Right? Wow, this is my mother, this is my son right here. Yeah, right? My son Lashawan right here, right? Nakara, right? Name given by the Lord, right? Hebrew, Lord language, right? Okay? God. Right? So this cup right here, is the figure of the thing in the palm of your hand. I can see the screen here, right? The thing in the palm of your hand, right? The shape of the roundness of your hand, with the lines in the middle of your hand. That is this example right here, right? Exhibit A, all right? What's the number? You'll see right here. You'll see right here. Right, Abogada, yes.
All right, yeah, that's hand. So the cow would be the fingers of the hand?
Oh, slap. Cup is the palm of your hand. Right, palm of hand. Right, palm of hand. Fingers is a good word. What's fingers in Hebrew? I've seen that word in the room. I've seen that word about once. Finger of God, 676. Word for finger is Atazabai. Alright. Finger. Yeah, because I'm showing the finger. So looking at display your fingers. Atazabai. Right? Finger. Atazabai. Right? Atazabai. That's finger in Hebrew. Atazabai. Atazabai. Alright? Finger. Right? Yeah, that's a finger. Oh, so. Not to change you wouldn't change anything in any word to get anything, right? Cop is just like, don't, okay, this figure is this. This is called a palm in English. In Hebrew, it's a cop, right? Now, the word kan, which means yes, right? It's not related to the figure. But then there might be something, okay. Many Hebrew words include like kan, right? It's how you write kan in Hebrew. Kan and a na, right? So a lot of words are formed out of putting them together, just like how I did here, right? So this would be palm, right? And this would be what is that? Napash, what is that? Breast. What was the other meaning? Some people say it was like nawam, say sprout. Right, but this is breath for your soul, right? Palm to soul, I don't really, a lot of things we're not gonna get because there's no book to read of how to interpret every single word, but we do know that they were put together like this. All right. Yeah. We have. Yeah, it was around point. We have the word Lashawan right here. This is not a hard one to get, right? Because La means learn, right? And this is your tongue, your language, right? La means learn, lamad, right? The Sha means teeth, right? The Sha means teeth, right? And then the Na is a thing coming out of your mouth, which is right here, right? In the bash, yes comes out of your mouth. Right? Yeah. So okay, now that helps, right? palm is the order. You see what I'm saying? The palm is the order. The pash is your response out of your mouth. Right? But then we have the order you take to your death. Right? The pash is soul. Right? Yeah, soul, your soul.
Oh, your soul.
Yeah, your soul. Right? The pash is soul. We're gonna get all of that before we leave today. Right? Right? But that's kind of thinking of how Adam put the language together. Alright? La, learn, shati, what our soul is about, what comes out of our mouth. Right? That's our language, that's our tongue. Right? That's our tongue, right? Learn, my teeth, you see my teeth doing this? I'm breathing, that nafash also means your breath. Right? The nafash also works for breathing. You can't breathe if you have your soul has left your body. Your soul left the body. No breathing. Game over. You see what I'm saying? So learn. Whatever my teeth you see, how they say, my breath, tongue, language. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's our language, how we talk, that's our language, the tongue. Right? So think of it like that. Yeah.
And when you look at it even further, you know, what is it? Lashawan? Lashawan is tongue, right?
Lashawan is tongue.
And then Lashawan is teeth, but the tongue is behind your teeth.
And your tongue is behind your teeth. And la, as you say, the la is two.
Yeah.
Right? That might be it too. Right? That might be how you got the word tongue. Right? Because remember, we have the this means teeth, but there's no character that means tongue. Right? So to your teeth, to your tongue. Right? The tongue is always to your teeth. Right. La, what you get at is la is a preposition. Right? So like how we had over here, where is a preposition to say I, right? La is a preposition to say to. So it's only some of them. The what else is there? The ma, the ha, the ba, right? Those are we're gonna get those afterwards so we can have a understanding. But that is getting down into the reading the Hebrew, right? Okay. Ka, la. We just did it too, right? Right? La, from la is lamad. Lamad. Lamad is the word teach. Lamad is teach also in Arabic. Same word in Arabic, right? Lamad. Or this might say lamad. Some of them pronounce it lamad, depending on what country you go to. Right? The next word is ma. Right? Ma. Right? That's when I was talking about. This is a preposition to also say of or from. Right? What else? Ka is a preposition to say like or as. Ya, when you read it, is a preposition to say he or it. What else is there? That's not a preposition. That's not one. The wa is a preposition to say and, right? Yes.
The ka, that's K-A-D or K-A-P.
Oh no. The ka is palm.
No, I mean the spelling is K-A-E.
Oh, K-A-P.
Oh, it is a P.
Or P, yeah, God. Alright, God. Alright. The ha is a preposition to say da. Da is a preposition to replace Aisha. Aisha and da. Aisha means make or do. Da is a preposition to say make or do. Alright? God is not a preposition. Ba is a preposition to say in or on. It's on something. Put it on the table, put it on here, put it in the box, put it in the microwave. Right? I is the purpose to say I, right? Ma comes from Mayam. Mayam. Just like the Mayan Empire, it is surrounded by. The Mayan Empire was surrounded by. Panama was surrounded by. What does the prophecy say about Zebulon? He shall be a haven of the sea, a haven of ships, right? Miami is surrounded by Miami is even the Yucatan Peninsula, which they call the Central America, right? The Native Indians named it after Joktan in the Bible. Joktan, right? Joktan is Yucatan, right? This is something that was brought up by Officer Zachary. Right? He goes into many books and read them. In Spanish, I can't read them, but he got them. And the Native Indians named the Yucatan Peninsula. The white man called it the Yucatan Peninsula because the Native Indians called it the Yucatan Peninsula, and it was named after Joktan in the Bible. I believe he is in the family of Eber, or some in the lineage. I don't think you can find it for me. Joktan, right? All right, Ma. Next you have Na. Right, Na. And that's for Napash. We went over this a while ago, right? Na is for Napash. Right, Napash is soul or breathe or breath or breathe. All right. Sa is for the white man the white man explained as established, right? But the word is sawab, right? Sawab is a flag. This is how we would draw flags. Not today like one pole and it's not cheap like the white man's flag. It's not a pole and a thing waving in the wind where you can't see what's on it. Our thing had writing on it. Our flag had writing on it. Right? And you will say David's name in there. What's David's name? David's name is this. This is David's name. This is his signature. This is this letter right here. Da, wa, da. Da and da. Right? This is not the what is it? The Molech, what is it? The star of Molech. This is not a star. Ain't no star in the sky look like this. You gotta quit with these silly imaginations, right? It's not a star. Stars are round dots of light in the sky. Alright? The sun is a star and it's round. Right? We have lights in this room and they're round. Alright? Stars are not. Don't be silly, right?
So what's the name again?
Who? Oh, Joktan. Right? So that's what this is. This is this. Every king had a signature. Let me get that straight. Let me get you keep looking at the watch, right? If you could help me, if you could get me Esther 8:8. I believe it's there's another one also in First Kings 21:3 or 21:8. Right? Yeah, Esther 8:8 is a good example. Also we have 2 Qadash 10:23. He stole it when he stole it, right? Read it right here.
All right, this is the book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 8. Write ye also for the Jews.
Write ye also for the Jews. Jews, the word Jew is short for Judah.
Right.
Keep reading.
As it liketh you.
As it liketh you.
In the king's name.
In the king's name. Right? And this is how we write it, right? Is there any more on that?
Yes, sir.
Please.
And seal it with the king's ring.
And seal it with the king's ring, meaning whatever the king's name was, you would write it in a ring. Right? A ring is a small thing, just like a stamp. Right?
Right.
And a stamp is not, your long name across some paper. It's how he wrote his name, like how you write a signature. Right? This is what Negroes do. They become a rapper. They have the album cover, they CD cover, they mixtape cover, whatever, and they write their name in some funny way where it's all joined together and graffiti like that. Right? Let me get you have a copy for you?
Yes, sir.
Let me get 2 Qadash 10:23. Right. By the way, Sawaf is flag. Flag. The slave master says it means established because it would establish a place by putting a flag on that land. And the word for flag, the word for established is samak. Right? Samak is the word for establish. is established. S-A-M-A-K. Sa-ma-ka. Right? Sa, ma, and ka. K, right? Right? You guys see Neshus 10 anything?
Ka.
Yeah.
This is the book of 2nd Neshus, chapter 10, verse 23. And which is the greatest of all?
Which is the greatest of all?
The seal of Zion?
The seal of Zion. The seal of Zion. Seal is the same thing we talked about when you seal it in the ring. Which would have been like our, you know, on the New York flag. The New York got a flag. And they would have these two bitches, because they're not women. They horrible women. They're figures of horrible women, like Caucasian women, right? In some way, it's made like to be some god or something. They look like some god, I don't know, right? But they're like a pillar or something like that, with an eagle or something like that going on. Something going on in the picture right there. That's their seal. Right? A lot of countries do this. You see the Haitian flag. In the Haitian flag, they have a seal in there, right? Jamaica too. They got it's somebody holding a pineapple, and the other person over there holding something else that their country is known for, right? Our country is known by our king David. He's the one who Christ sits on this throne, right? So this represents Christ's throne, right? And greatest of all, they took the what?
Let's see. The seal of Zion.
The seal of Zion. Why?
Now,
on Mount Zion is the city of David. Right? That's what's called the seal of Zion, because the seal of the city of David would be whatever is on Zion. Where that king ruled there on Zion. So this is the seal of Zion, means the seal of the city of David. Read.
Hath now lost her honor.
Have now lost her honor. Because one time it was honorable to rock this. But you rock this nowadays, people gonna mistake to me them child ministers out in Brooklyn that's sucking on babies' penises talking about that circumcision. Now you get mistaken for their religion. It's lost its honor. You see what I'm saying? Now, oh, you one of them Jewish bastards. You pro anti-Holocaust or whatever they call it. You would use these people. Or you went to bombing the Gaza Strip. You anti-Gaza Strip. You anti-Muslim. You see what I'm saying? You lost honor. Now it's not an honorable thing. Now this don't represent God no more. It represents these horrible people. These heathens. Right? Keep reading.
For she is delivered into the hands of them that hate us.
Which hate us. Now who hates us? Who hates us? What people hate us? Who hates us? Who hates us? The white man is who hates us. White man hates us. Make America great again. Hate us. Build, it's the same thing. It's saying the same thing. Build the wall. Them who hate us. Go back to Africa. Them who hate us. What did they say when Obama was they said something. They're taking over the country. Them who hate us. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's delivered into the hands of them that hate us. Alright? Who is the slave man of the oppressed? Right? The Jewish white man. He hates us. Donald Sterling with the thing with the NFL players and all of the managers of basketball players. Why they have to wear their shirts the wrong side around and wear their socks inside out. And Colin Kaepernick taking a knee because of them who hate us. Alright? It's not hard to understand it, right? I went to 2 Kings. Is the First Kings? Try First Kings 23 anyway. Or it's not 23. Try 21 anyway. There we go. First Kings 21 anyway. Yeah, read it. First Kings 21 and 8.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 21 and verse 8. So she wrote letters in Ahab's name.
He wrote letters in Ahab's name. Right? Meaning the letters to Ahab in his name will have a stamp for Ahab in there. However, Ahab would write his seal. Right? But however he would write his signature, keep reading.
And sealed them with his seal.
With his seal. So this is a stamp. This is not just his name. This is not just aha. It's not just this. Right? But however, he would write his name together. He would put it all together like how we wrote the Shield of David. Right? David has 2 dots in there, that's why it's written like that, right? It's not magic, it's not witchcraft, or it's not, witchcraft is believing that Christ is a white man. Witchcraft is making the whole world think that it's okay to be gay. Or to make everybody put gifts under a tree. You have to put in a gift, you're giving the tree a gift. Like the gift, the tree can't move, can't talk. The tree can't reward you for the gift. You see what I'm saying? Celebrating your birthday, make you feel like for this one day, you're a god this day. That is witchcraft. You know what I mean? That is real witchcraft. This has no magic in there. Me drawing this, having it on the wall, doesn't mean nothing to witchcraft. But it does show that I represent who sits on David's throne, and that is Christ. Right? Your Christian cross represents killing Christ. And Christ ain't dead. Christ is alive. Right? He was risen on the 3rd day. He is not dead. His body is not on that cross no more. That cross is left there standing. Became rotten from all the blood of the other prisoners that was going to be on that cross. The cross was used over and over again. Killed the brother beside it, the 2 thieves beside it. You know what I mean? It was a common way of capital punishment at the time. Right? Good, right? Let's finish this off. Let's get out of here, right? Yeah.
What scripture was that first?
1 Kings 21:8. Right? Remember this, because people always come with that crap, right? We have Esther 8:8. 1 Kings 21:8. 2nd Esther 10:23. All right? Again, Esther 8:8. 1 Kings 21:8. 2nd Esther 23. No, 2nd Esther 10:23. All right? That's the breakdown for the Shield of David. All right? We have I, right? This I is from iron. And just like I, and why you say I today, this I means your eye. Right? That's where the letter I, why you say I today like this today? Because it comes from I, which is iron. Right? So when you see this Hebrew character, it's pronounced as I, just like your eye. Alright? Lamanasa I Pa. Right? Pa, which comes from Pa, which is your mouth. Right? So this is a figure of an eye, and this is a figure of a mouth. This is the top jaw, this is the bottom jaw. Right? Lamanasa I Pa. Right? This I thought the Jericho bottom off. Right? This is I gotta get to this was he said this is a man on his side, because he said before that it was written like so. And it would say it was a man on his side. Right? Before we was teaching, it was Qadash, which is a hunting tool, which is a throwing axe, which is good. Right? By the way, Qadash means hunt. It's a good word too. Qadash is hunt. So Qadash, meaning the hunting tool, was based off this. Right? And Tazawad would be hunting. Qadash is hunt. Alright? I'm gonna come back to Qadash. I can't remember the word for it. Or can I find out concordance? Okay, so let me get a concordance. Remember, the tablet's here, right? We got our favorite Strong's Concordance. We like this book. We all love this book. Right? The Strong's Concordance. Can you see the book online? The Strong's Concordance. right? $12 Amazon Prime. I mean, you know, it's definitely worth the money, right? There's not a lot of words that have Tazah in there. Let's see if I can find it right quick. Oh, it's lucky. There is a lot of words for Tazah. Yeah, it's not gonna happen right now. Oh, it's lucky. Oh, I think Tazah might be the word. It says side. Tazah is side. Okay, so what's hot? Hold on. It's lucky. Right, so this is Tazah. Right? This is Tazah from Tazah, right? Tazah. Right? And just say side for now, right? That's a good word too, side. To learn, it's on this side, the other side, right? The word other in Hebrew is a car. Other, another one, other, a car, right? A car, A-H-C-H-A-A-R, right? A car is other, right? But side is Tazah right here, right? According to the Zondervan's, not the Zondervan's, the Strong's Concordance number 6654. All right. Okay. Okay. So let's just roll with that for now. All right. Good. We'll probably be upping our vocabulary. Remember that Tazayah was a hunting tool. All right. Tazayah was a hunting tool. So we looked at how we had like the Zah. It looks similar, but it's not because of the figure I just drew with a man inside, right? This looked like this. So at the time we thought it was a hunting tool. Now you know the word Tazayah is a hunting tool, the throwing axe. Up your vocabulary, good, right? Now learn Tazah, side, right? Good. I part Tazah, qua, right? Qua is Qadash, which is a mouse trap. It's called a trap or a snare in the Bible. The language in the Bible uses a snare. It's not the word they use today as a American speaking American, right? In America, you would say trap, right? A trap is a snare called Qadash, right? It's no different than the mouse trap you see today, right? You got the thing here, like this, and there's a little thing right here with the cheese right here in the middle, and it snaps over. It's the same thing, right? But it's just that in Egypt, we made these out of the wishbones of some animal and flexible string in the middle. It did the same thing trying to catch rodents when you were slaves in Egypt, right? Qadash. You know, the Hebrew gets very intimate with our history. All right. I Patazah Ra. Right? Ra is from Ra'ash, which means head. This is someone's head. This is his chin. This is his neck. All right. Ra, Sha, Sa. Right. We have the Sha. Right. Comes from the word Shan, which is teeth. Right. Teeth. Right. So these are drop better. Right. This is two front teeth right here. Right. Let me write it better. Right? It looks just like your W. Right. It's the teeth. Right. Shan is teeth. All right. The last one, Qurasha, Tha. The last one is Tha. Right. Tha, which is pronounced Sao, which is a mark. Right. Just like the mark of the beast. Right. And the shield of David is not the mark of the beast. Like people make the mind up. They say it's the mark of the beast. White people say it's the mark of the beast. White people say the mark of the beast is a vaccine. They say this is the mark of the beast. They say this is the star of Molech. It's called dialogue. Right? The Lord came down and confused their talk, confused their speech. So one time they had one speech, and the Lord came down and confused their speech. Now nobody knows what nothing is, except for the I.S.U.P.K. All right? Good? Any more questions? Any questions online? We didn't even get online all night.
Lashawan asked a question. There's a lot to say. How can those other people be referred to as Hebrews if Hebrew is only the language that we speak?
Right. So they are not considered Hebrews because they are considered Moabites, right, and Ammonites, and Edomites, and Ishmaelites, and the last nation to be born was the Israelites, which is us. Right? And they're considered to be Hebrew because they are children of Eber. Right? So we wanted to get Joktan, right? Do we get Joktan? Yeah, if you could get Joktan.
Joktan, meaning unknown, a tribe descended from Shem.
Joktan is, the meaning is, okay. He doesn't know Hebrew.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
No.
He said, I know. He doesn't know Hebrew. Right? Joktan, okay, the N, we went over this a lot of times, right? Where the N, or O-N, right, is the transliteration to say one, right? One is taking any word and turning it into a noun, which is a place or a person. All right? So now to find out what Joktan means, you have to get Jok, right? Or the J is always a Y, right? So you just look for Yawak, right? If you can find that, then you can find out what. No, wait. Joktan, right? So it'll be Yakat. Now they use a K. They use a K. It's Jok. We're looking at Joktan, right? So we have the Jok, K, and the top. We know that is a, we know the J is over the Y. This K could either be a K or it can be a Q according to common transliterations, right? And then a T. So whatever Yakat is or Yakwat, so that will be your key to finding what Joktan means, right? Now it has to be something related to along the lines of all the names. All the names of the brothers at that time, Joktan, they were always like past or present or expand. Or there was a common theme of names at that time, right? I want to see if we can find this quickly, right? Right? Let me look at your cut right quick. Yeah. Cut. Yeah. Huh? You believe it's with what? Yeah, I believe so too.
They tried to do the Hebrew translation, they wrote Y-O-Q-T-A-N.
Because that's the common transliteration. That's why I put it on the board. But they always do that. All right? But we're going to come at the Mashaman's question in a second, all right? This might be some homework. All right, so we'll look out for what Joktan means next time, right? We didn't find Joktan in the lineage, right? Yeah, because keep reading.
No, says Japheth, a tribe descended from Shem through Eber, and from whom 13 tribes of Arabia descended.
Okay, good. Give me Genesis 10:25.
Oh, gosh.
Give me 21 first, right?
This is the book of Genesis,
20.
chapter 10, verse 20. These are the sons of Ham.
These are the sons of Ham. Read.
After their family.
Ham is who we brought up earlier, right? For the Africans, right? Those Africans are all a family. They're not our family, but they are a family, right? That's why they treat each other like that. And they don't treat us like how they treat each other like that. No matter what tribe they're from, the way they treat each other, how they don't treat us. Because we are not a family, all right? Keep reading.
After their tongue.
After their tongue. Igbo, Yoruba, Fulani, Oyo, Aga, this and that, all right? Keep reading. The Ethiopian tongues, the Amharic tongue, right? Keep reading.
In their country.
In their country, Nigeria, Ghana, Ethiopia, South Africa, Lesotho, Togo, Zimbabwe, Angola, Congo, Gambia, Niger, Chad, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, right? Kenya, where Obama's from. Obama's dad is from, right? Not our family, but their family, their languages, their countries. Keep reading.
And in their nations.
And in their nations. That's in their race. Nations is race in the Bible. Race? No, there's no race in the Bible. Every time you read the word nation in the Bible, is race. Right? Keep reading.
Oh God. Verse 21. Unto Shem.
Unto Shem. Shem is the other son. Remember, Ham is one son of Noah. Shem is the other son of Noah. Japheth is the other son of Noah. Japheth would be the Hawaiians, Samoans, and the Aborigines in what's the name? Not Tanzania. Tasmania. Right. I know the people. Right. Keep reading.
Unto Shem.
Shem is us. Shem is Negroes, Hispanic Native Indians, Latinos. The white man, right? Arab, Chinese people, Japanese people, the people that are called the Asiatic people. You know, the Muslims that don't know nothing. They be like the Asiatic black man. We were the Asiatics, and we were considered the black man from Asia. That's how we are the Asiatic black man. Asia means East, right? East would be the Middle East to the Far East, Africa, right, and then Europe, and then East is this line right here, right? They just put the word middle there because it's considered the middle of all the action, the middle of the earth, the Middle East. It's not, people are like, oh, there's no Middle East. Israel is Africa, because where's middle north, middle west, middle south? Don't know nothing. Don't know anything. Go into the origin of the word, the etymology, why they call it Middle East. You go read the book called The Lost Tribe of the Promised Land. It breaks it down for you. They call it the Oikomean first, right? And then it was called the Orient or the East. And then Asia. All those mean the same thing. Orient, East. Asia, East. East means East, right? And then middle of the earth meaning one time it was the known world, and everything was the unknown world. It was the middle, right? That's what they call it, right? So don't get confused, all right? Keep reading.
Oh God. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 21. Unto Shem, also the father of all the children of Eber.
The father of all the children of Eber. Eber is Hebrew. Shem is the father of the Hebrews because it's significant. Because you have to, what they're saying is, you should care about who your family is from.
Right.
You should care about where you come from. You should care about your race. You should care about the family tree. Know your origins. Christians make it seem like, oh, just forget everything. God love everybody. We all be red. That's not why they're writing this like this. Your forefathers wrote this like this to say it is important to know where you come from. The roots. This is the roots. All right? The roots in Africa. We just read Africa a while ago. We said their nations. Now this one is saying the father of all the Hebrews. The father of the Eber, right? Hebrew.
Verse 20, the brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were children born.
Right, so now it's saying that the Japhites and Ham, one time, they were all brothers. This is where everyone on the earth comes from. right? Keep reading.
Verse 22. The children of Shem. Elam. And Asher. And Arphaxad. And Lud. And Aram.
Right? These are the children of Shem. Now skip it down to 23. Give me 24.
Oh God, verse 24. And Arphaxad begat Salah.
He gave birth to Salah.
And Salah begat Eber.
And Salah begat Eber. And Hebrew is named after Eber. Give me 24. 25.
Oh God, verse 25. And unto Eber were born 2 sons.
And Eber was born 2 sons.
The name of one, Peleg.
Peleg.
For in his days.
When you see that 4 means his name means this. So Peleg, when they anointed his head, your name shall not be Peleg. 4, read it again.
4 in his days was the earth divided.
So Peleg means divide. Pelag means divide. Keep reading.
And his brother's name was Joktan.
And his brother's name was Joktan. Right? And Joktan is who the native Indians call the continent of the Central America, the Joktan Peninsula or the Yucatan Peninsula. And Yucatan is that, right? And now Joktan is our lineage. Peleg is the divided lineage, meaning they're someone else. You know what I mean? Peleg had sons of some other people that were divided from us. And he named him divided because he was divided from us the same way how Esau was divided from Jacob. The same way Isaac was divided from Ishmael. Peleg was divided from Joktan. And then native Indians had knew damn well to name their land Yucatan because we are the children. We're not of the Peleg. You know what I mean? We're not all these other nations. We are one that kept the lineage after our father, Eber, the Hebrews. All right? Is there any more on that? Give me 31.
31? Come, it's the book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 31. These are the sons of Shem. After their
families,
after their
tongues, the Hebrew and the other tongues that get divided by Peleg and the Ishmaelites and everyone else, right? No, not Ishmaelites, but Ishmaelites came from us, right? The point the brother was asking was, how are these other people called Hebrews? Because they also came. The Arabs come from Joktan too. The Edomites come from Joktan. The Caucasians they come from Joktan too. The Chinese and the Japanese, they come from Joktan too, like us, come from Joktan too, right? But then you go down in the story, Ishmael was divided because the covenant was given to Isaac, which is our forefather. So they get to speak some other language. Give me 31.
Verse 31. These are the sons of Shem. After
32.
Verse 32. These are the families of the sons of Noah.
The families of the sons of Noah, which everyone on the earth today are sons of Noah. Keep reading.
After their generation,
their fathers and mothers and fathers' fathers and fathers' fathers' fathers and sons and sons and sons and sons. Keep reading.
In their nation,
in their races of people and their countries, which have come from their race of people. Keep reading.
And by these were the nations divided.
And by these were the races of people in the earth divided. Right? We're supposed to be divided. We're supposed to be separate. So we don't need integration because we were divided. We don't get along with white people because we were divided. Chinese people beating our sisters in the headlongs because we're divided. Right? Africans don't stop a carrot for you Negroes because you're divided. You're divided. Keep reading. Where?
In the earth.
In the earth. This is what God said. God will love everybody. No, we should all hold hands. God divided us in the earth. When? After the flood. After the flood. When is after the flood? 2021 is after the flood. Right? Good. And with that, I pass the class. Any more questions online? With that, I pass the class to officer of 50 for question mark.
Clap it up for the class. I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Root for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are here to